I said Benjamin Part 2 is here.
I know.
Thank you.
We are good. Okay, we can begin.
Yes.
Oh man, thank you guys for can I take the mask? I'm
Yes.
vaccinated. I didn't wear my little tag today.
You can take it off.
Oh jeez, I can't breathe.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's sick because it's like my mom made this mask. It's like double, triple cotton protected, and you can't breathe in the damn thing. I'm like, dang. This is too much.
Yeah, shit is getting hot, so it's like.
It's hot outside. It's like 90 degrees or something. What is going on?
Here you go.
Let's see.
Write that down.
Please excuse my elementary writing. I know it's horrible. That's man writing. But if you can see, this is just my contact information. And on IG, G.
You can edit this out of your video, but I think you should take your mask all the way off because it looks like you violating. But if you have it all the way off, it just looks like you vaccinated.
Gotcha.
Then people won't have no opinions on
Yeah,
you.
as long as everybody's so comfortable with it. We're good. Okay. Good. I was supposed to have the mobile 5 and then the number 1. Looks like a L.
Wow, number 1.
It's been a morning. I'm actually. No, it's.
It's a little winded.
Yeah, it's clients and go through people. Wait, and we're gonna get into that, like people that you touch, people transference, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, people will drain you like vampires, like man, good grief. But anyway, my name is Benjamin. This is my telephone number. I'm on Instagram. And you can any type of questions. I do mean any. If it's vulgar, cursing, all that good stuff. And on my videos, please don't take it word for word where it's like, oh man, that guy's evil. He yells at people with curses and shit like that. But those are for ignorant people who say stupid things, and yes, I'm quick to put people in place, because sometimes you have to. And if you let people walk all over you,
Yeah.
I mean, you can, because if it's your business, you kind of actually gotta cater to certain people. And we'll get in that in just a moment. Oh, was this hand sanitizer? And then as an intro, if anybody in here is definitely better than me and right now, hey, by all means, you shouldn't even probably be listening to me. Like seriously, I don't even know why you're here, you're in school. Everybody has that Superman, Superwoman complex, or hey, I'm greater, I'm better, I can do it a better way. You'll have your opportunity once you get out here. But the door is right there. And if it's something I say that's really, really crazy, yeah, feel free to leave. It's nothing personal, it's just sometimes listening to a guy, yeah, we get overboard. You know, men are, we get stupid sometimes, but well, all the time, mostly. And if it's something too personal, like religion, sports, sex, all that good stuff, I normally talk about it. But if it's like that, just freak, hey, I need to go, so you're going too hard. But other than that, I'm a master esthetician, and I'm actually from Northern Virginia. So I went to a basic school, esthetician school at, oh God, Spectrum Beauty Academy. It was in Northern Virginia, and it was a horrible school, don't get me wrong, it was. It shut down, finally. But that school was so horrible, we pretty much taught ourselves. So you guys are kind of lucky that you guys have right now, or the other instructors out here are pretty good as well. But most schools aren't like that at all. And I know everybody has like a beef about their school here and there. Even if you go to Yale or Harvard or Stanford, I guess people still complain about an Ivy League school just because it's a nice school. There are some instructors that are horrible. So with this school, at least you guys have, I mean, man, this floor wasn't even blue last time I came here. Everything has changed actually. It's that lighting. It's going through like a transformation, like a good transformation, like seriously. But other than that, my school was horrible. Our director's daughter was basically teaching our class. She was 17 years old. We didn't know she was 17, she was still in high school. So we basically looked at certain, this is when YouTube was literally coming out. It was like 2006, 2007-ish. and we didn't really have much video to look at, and we needed help. And so we basically helped ourselves. We looked at the ladies book. Thank God we had the ladies book. You guys okay, praise the Lord. So the ladies really saved our life. Like, cause yeah, other books we didn't even know it was a doctor. And we pretty much, like I said, trained ourselves. We passed our tests. The instructor was late half the time, but that school closed down maybe 4 years after I graduated. So I felt like I didn't have like a good foundation. Like, hey, look, I really don't even know how to do a really, really good cleanse, a really, really good facial. I see all these videos. I'm like, we didn't learn that in school. What was going on? So then that's when a master's program, they taught me about master's aesthetics. I was like, sure. Cause I thought we were gonna learn all the little tricks of the trade, body polish machines, dermaplaning. That's what I have in my little bag. I'm gonna explain that in just a minute. HydraFacial actually has been around for a long, long time. People have just gotten popular because of the real, like the show The Real, And going down there and like doing a HydraFacial or Brazilian bikini, we didn't get taught any of that in aesthetic school, and we were supposed to. They advertised it that way. They said, hey, you're gonna learn chemical peels. We didn't learn any of that stuff. So the master's program, yes, they did teach us all that good stuff. So then that's when, my career pretty much took off. But other than that, I hated aesthetics. I hated even massage school. Massage school was horrible. It really, really was. But I got past that, went to continuing education. And yeah, it opened up all my doors. But yes, in the beginning, I did not want to do this at all, just because I went to a bad school. You know what I mean? And that can deter you. So if you get like a job or a career that sets you off at like Massage Envy, Red Doors out of business now. Some Massage Envies are actually closing. Only closed. It's like 2 of them. But anyway, not saying that they're all bad. It's just that some of those places, they're not gonna let you grow or blossom the way you want to at all. So it's kind of better to start off at a salon or do your own thing, or you can start off at a med spa if they hire you, because there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts about a med spa. They want you to have super much education or schooling, or they want certain things like nurses, doctors, master esthetician. Even for us, it's hard to get into a med spa sometimes. So other than that, that's how I literally got into aesthetics. So somebody will say, hey, look, you went from the Marine Corps to going into aesthetics. For me, it was massage first, then aesthetics. So massage, graduated massage school in 2002. And then I started having issues. That's why I went into massage school. I needed something that occupied my mind. And I didn't have problems overseas seeing bad things, but as soon as I got back home, I went to a steakhouse. And my girlfriend, she treated me to, the little Kobe steakhouse in PG County. I love that place. They cook right in front of you in the fire, you scared and shit. But I'm sorry, I'm a person. But yeah, I love that place, right? But then he burnt something, like an egg, and he didn't really burn it, was just a smell. He said, oh, I'm sorry. I get you another one. Ain't nothing burnt, but I smelled something that just triggered me. And I ran to the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom for about maybe 30 minutes, but I thought it was only 10 minutes. But my girlfriend came, she's like, you've been here for like 28 minutes, almost 30 minutes. I was like, really? And that's how I knew I had a problem. And so I was up late night, she left me, just like weeks have passed through, and then I finally went to massage school. So I was seeing somebody getting a chair massage, and I was like, sure, I'll get my little first massage. It felt wonderful. I signed up the same day, like literally. So it was all happenstance in my career. Coming from the Marine Corps, jumping into aesthetics, this doesn't match for some people, but aesthetic school calmed me down, massage school calmed me down. I needed something to keep my mind busy. And even though I'm still like a vampire night owl right now, because I still stay late, I'm running on fumes. I'm like, man, I should have went to bed at 12 o'clock, but I didn't. I stayed up to about 3 or 4. And I'm not saying that I had an issue, it's just sometimes I don't want to go to bed. I don't know what the hell that is about. But anyway, that's what actually helped me control like a lot of things. So aesthetic school was just a stepping stone, but I had problems in it, but then I became great in it. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, all happenstance. Like I said, master esthetician school, laser treatments. I love laser. I didn't even want to do laser, but they actually had a course to do that. And I didn't know we had to do that. I was scared to death. I was like, are you sure we're supposed to? Because the old laser machine, you had to step on a foot pedal, then hold the machine. It was a big one, but now they have like little portable. This is literally a laser machine nowadays. You can have home treatments. You can do your own whatever you got to do. But no, it wasn't like that back in the day. It was super scary almost. So that's what pretty much got me into that realm. Then I started learning chemical peels, microdermabrasion machines. So I knew in Maryland when we went to our school, we couldn't do any of that. We couldn't do microdermabrasion, couldn't do extractions with extraction tools. So it's like, wow, how are we gonna do a facial? So everything's about our hands, and I'm heavy-handed. If I pop somebody's acne, I'm almost bruising them. I'm not as gentle as all the other estheticians in my class. We had other males that they were just great at it. They were, you know, they were on, you know, they were that type of male. I'm hetero, but they were into it. Yes, they were. Yeah, they were very. They're part of the community. Nothing's wrong with the community. It's just they were great at it because they already knew how to be.
Tender.
Yeah, exactly. Me, I don't. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I didn't know how to treat one. I'm like, massage school, I was horrible. My first 2 weeks, oh Lord, because you know every man thinks they know how to touch a woman. Oh, girl, let me rub your shoulder. Let me get in it. No. So massage school really calmed me down, but then aesthetic school really honed my skills. It really touched my face because massage school we don't touch the face.
Yeah.
We don't massage. Maybe this program does. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we didn't do the face at all, so I don't know how to really, you know, like fatality. So I had to really learn how to do aesthetics and really touch a woman's face, hair. Oh, my first complaint, I thought it was gonna come from a black woman. I first grew up. I was like, okay, she ain't gonna let me touch the baby hair. She ain't gonna let me touch her edges. No, it was from this lady. She was maybe, I think she probably mentioned Italian or something. She was very beautiful. Came with this nice wavy hair. And she wanted a scalp massage, but she said she only wanted the temples, and I didn't pay attention to it. I went all up in her hair, and it was extra silky and smooth. She made a complaint, and I didn't understand why. I was like, why is she making a complaint? She said she just got a keratin treatment. I had no idea what keratin treatment was. I didn't know it was that expensive. Keratin in Northern Virginia is like $350, $400, or more, just depending on what. And it was extra silky. I loved it. It was very nice, right?
All the keratin on his hands. He like his nails on the
But yeah, I was all up in her hair. Just, I messed it all up. I mean, she enjoyed it, but at the same time, like, yeah, you still have to check. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter the nationality, ethnicity. Make sure you don't fuck up somebody's hair for a bit. But that's just, you know, massage part of it. Aesthetics is the same thing. We give somebody a nice scalp massage, shoulder massage. Just know what you're doing. But other than that, that's literally how I got into it. A lot of people ask me, yeah, how did you get this far? How'd you get on YouTube and do all this extra stuff? That was by happenstance as well. A girlfriend invited me to, or some other girlfriend, down the road, and she's like, "Look, can you give a massage for my boss? We forgot her birthday, and they went out drinking the night before, so they forgot." So I come there with my table, give her a massage, and then she asked for it. She said, "What else do you do?" I said, "I do facials." Gave her facial. That turned into a contract. Every once a month, I would come by and give everybody a facial. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't plan it. I was scared to death to even go into the office building, but it was very nice, and I still have that contract. So it's like things just happen out of the blue because of a woman, basically. Yeah, it was never because of a man. It was never because of me. It was almost, my mom, girlfriends, and I always had good girlfriends. I didn't have bad girlfriends where I could just, cheat and mess around. I had the ones that were smart. Thank God knew that you're gonna have somebody that can put you in your place. And I did. And basically, I got my credit straight just because of a girl. Yeah, she was in finance at a bank. But anyway, man, if it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have made it. Thank God I didn't have any male instructors. Because
What time of man you woman for praise?
Oh yeah, all day and night. Yes. But
That's true. You won't even students. He's like, and my girlfriend. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, but no, I was an idiot though. I was the idiot boyfriend. So they were smart, but I wasn't. But then once y'all leave us, then we start to snap into it and start to realize like, oh, okay. And then I took aesthetics even more serious. And so then I started doing mobile treatments. My spa actually shut down, it had a fire. And trying to go back after a fire or trying to get hired on with somebody else. Everybody's like picky, and it's a small community, so people know other rival companies, they know where you work. So if you try to apply somewhere else, they kind of hold a grudge against you, like, oh, you work for so-and-so, you ain't gonna come over here. It gets picky like that. So we had a fire, I was out of work for a couple months. I still had my military benefits, don't get me wrong, but that only pays for my rent and pays for my car note at the time. That's it. I can't afford no Red Lobster meals, no cheddar biscuits, all that. Yeah, I'm going there today. I gotta stop the COVID eating up and I gained so much weight. COVID. COVID's been good to me actually. But anyway, going back to the schools and trying to get hired at another job, it was very, very tough. The only thing that separated me was because I was a master esthetician. That's the only reason why they took me. And plus I was a male, so it kind of made their spa good because, you know, I was like a token male. Not because of the skin color, just because I was a male, period. You know what I mean? Like they had a lot, there's a lot of cattiness in this business. There's a lot of competition between females. Like all of you in here, everybody is gorgeous. Like seriously, everybody got a look in here, you know, you can just tell. So you might have a little bit of problems with that, but you'll get past that. What was I left off on? Girlfriend put me in my face, contracts. Okay, yes. So then I started doing mobile businesses because somebody had a party. And it was at a nice little resort / golf club or golf resort right in Bethesda. I didn't even know it was a country club over there. Like you pass the 495 going across the bridge in Virginia, you pass it, you just don't see it. And it's a golf course way to the left side, and it's nothing but millionaires and rich people. I had no idea that was even over there. Like, and I passed through there every day all my life. Driving through Virginia.
Thinking it's Disney World.
Yeah, it's right. Where that castle is, just on the opposite side. That's where the golf course is.
I just found out it's a Jewish church temple.
Yeah, and you can't just go up in there, right? You gotta be special. Be special. But yeah, you gotta be special. But it's okay. I mean, that's still a good church. I respect all religions, no matter what it is. So even if you don't celebrate God Day, that's up to you. Hopefully, we make you turn later on. But the mobile appointments, I didn't have a sink. I didn't have bowls, nothing, because I thought they were gonna have all that in the room. They said they were gonna be in your own room. So literally, that's why I brought on the little. This is literally all I bring to a mobile appointment.
Wow.
That's it. And I'm gonna break it down to you in just a minute. But I learned very, very quick. Like on the job training, you know, on JT, whenever you're in your job, you're gonna learn like real, real quick. But what to do? You're thinking your employer's gonna have all the sponges and bowls and everything. Don't count on that. Just make sure you have your stuff just in case.
Yeah.
Please. Like, cause once you get there, it's like, oh shit, I don't have this. I don't have my extractor tool. Y'all said I was gonna have this. I don't have no steamer. What am I gonna do? So there's ways around the steamer. As long as you got a sink or at least some hot water, a microwave, something.
Yeah.
Heat that towel up. There's always a way. Trust me. Water, you can bring a little. That's just a little douster. You douse over the skin. So I'm doing a little demonstration in a minute. And yeah, just be prepared. I was never prepared. Like all these events that I did. But I had to improvise. So in the military, that's all we do is improvise, overcome that we have to. We don't get the best equipment at all, especially in the Marine. Hell no, we're like, but they know not to give us all the equipment because if they did, we would be lazy. We would be like every other brand. We just would. We wouldn't be hungry for anything. So you gotta kind of deprive us to actually think on your feet real quick. But other than that, my first mobile appointment, yes, I got through it, and then I got smarter and wiser. Okay, I went to the store, now I need extra cotton rounds, I need bigger cotton rounds. I'm working with more males. Hair on a male's face, even giving us a scrub or cleanse, really dig in there. We don't want the gentle baby, this and little, we want somebody to really dig in. And it feels awesome. So, but some guys have nastiness in their hair. They have little spiders and cooker bugs and all this other. I had a guy who had 3 ticks in his skin. He didn't even know. He didn't, cause it was so embedded. Cause he had the big, thick beard, like the Ron Swanson beard. Or let's see who has a beard, like James Harden beard. You know, like Rick Ross beard. Right? You can't see through all that. It's all. So it's like,
You're outside.
You're out, right? You can't see.
Yeah.
They say cicadas.
Yes, they can't have no hair. I see one right on the sidewalk over here. Be careful. No, they flew away. I think. It's gone.
It's gone. The one.
The cicadas are cool. They're okay. They're God's creatures somehow. Or somehow. I don't know.
17 years.
Yes.
They walk from the ground floor music.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that's true. But the guy who I worked on had the 3. He didn't even know, and I had to pick him out. And I showed his girlfriend because think about it. If he's going. And not to be, you know what I mean? If we all know that area, and if the guy's going down in that area, and he got his beard right, that tip can kind of so things transfer. Just because, and aesthetics is not just more just skincare, period. It's skincare for the whole body. We do body treatments, we do all this other stuff in the master's program. So I'm like, damn, I didn't know we learned all this shit. Like, damn, this is pretty cool. And it's only because we had good instructors. The school didn't advertise it that way. They didn't say body polishes or treatments or wraps. I'm like, yeah, we take care of the whole skin, foot, everything. There's so many things that you can learn. We just had good instructors, good teachers, but that school didn't really say, hey, this is what you're gonna learn here, just because you're a master of We actually learned the minimum, but we had good instructors that taught us the maximum. You see what I'm saying? So that's everywhere you go. So continuing education is your primary school, like continue even past this school. You don't have to go through a master's program, just at least go to the beauty shows, the expos. Because that's when you learn almost things that you never even heard. Like, really, I didn't know you could do shit. I became double licensed, triple licensed, all that good stuff, only because of other people. My school never taught me how to become an esthetician plus massage therapist plus personal trainer. No, not personal trainer, but anyway, plus hairstylist plus everything else. Because everybody's in competition with each other. So always learn another skill, at least take as much classes as you can. Some of them are very expensive, but some of them are very affordable. If your job can pay for them, let your job pay for your courses, for real. So right now I'm in IT. I graduated last year. I finally went back to school, and I was like, okay, I always had an associate's degree, but it never really got me anywhere. So I was like, well, the future is IT, let me do something, because remember the pandemic hit, and I definitely didn't have anything to do. I mean, I still have military benefits, but damn, I want to go to Red Lobster more and more. Even with the pandemic, I can't do that, so I need to have a job.
Life stuff.
Yeah, that or all of it, the butter in there is good. Yeah, all of that. I think everything in Red Lobster I eat. Oh, anyway, wait, is that what you said?
No, she said y'all making her hungry.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Alright, so going back to school, that kind of saved my life. So now I have a full-time job, and it kind of takes me away from doing aesthetics on the side, but I actually have done for 1099 workers. So once you get good with somebody else probably might have a business. Somebody in here will own a business. You never know who you're talking to right now. Your instructor's right here, she probably knows a lot. There's things in school we can only say that we're allowed to say.
Yeah.
Because then there's protocols, if we actually tell you what we actually do on the side or other, we get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then they might not want you knowing all the ins and outs. They want you to come back so you can waste more money doing other stuff. Anyway. I mean, it's just and yeah, just network, and get in where you fit in. If it's a job opening, take it. If you know somebody that has a business, even though you don't want to work under them, just get it for the experience and then put it on your resume and keep it moving. These jobs are actually kind of hard to get. Sometimes people is personal, picky. They might not like you because of your religion, because of your sex, because of you look better than them. That's just always gonna happen somehow, somewhere. So other than that, I know I got off topic before. I know we were talking about cheddar baked biscuits and stuff. A little before that, I had something to talk about.
You were at home for COVID.
Yeah, so COVID, went back to school. It's nothing wrong with going back to school. Even this school, you guys are in school, it's great. Some people are at home still wondering, what am I gonna do? Next morning, like, yes, they're collecting unemployment, but that's gonna end sooner or later. Your boyfriend, you lovey-dovey now, that might end, you might have to find a new place to live. Your wife's acting a fool, or whoever else you have to have a plan B, plan C, plan double C, all that good stuff. Like, have more plans than plans, because you just never know.
Say that again, have more what?
Plans on top of plans, like blessings on blessings. Miracles.
It's like the song, right?
She has a song to everything.
No, that's true. It's very, very true.
Look, we're already here.
Because we all think we have it good from almost, and it is good at sometimes. Like in our life, like man, this job seems great, but then you get new management. I've had a lot of managers in my day thinking it was good in the beginning, then we get that crazy manager comes in and fucks it all up. Man, now I gotta find another job, because once things are, if it's a toxic environment, move on. Seriously, you shouldn't have to put up, then you gotta come home. If you have a toxic environment at home, I don't know how people are living. So sometimes when people are so jealous or they got problems, they probably got a toxic environment, then they come home, so their home life's messed up, they bring it to work. Work's messed up, they bring it to home. And so yes, for aesthetics, you're gonna see a lot of people come on your table, that's their me time, that's their relief time, like they're away from their kids like, hey, mommy, and just, I don't have it, thank God. I learned early in the military, I've seen people have kids, and I learned not to have, I mean, I want them now, yes, because I'm older and wiser, but back in the day, no, I probably don't.
If it was up to me, I would say F them kids.
Look, I've babysitted, I've raised kids, cousins, nephews, like everybody in my family has kids except for me. I'm like literally the last of the Mohican. Everybody has multiple kids. Multiple. And I've taken care of all of them. I'm like, yeah, I am a father. I am a parent. So I think I've passed that phase. I don't want to. And most of them are in college now, thank God. But I pay for prom dresses, nails, hair. I've done my part. So if it happens, it happens. but let's go ahead and go into some of the treatments that you'll learn. Because the stories, they can go on and on forever. But, and if this is for you, you'll stick with it. But if it isn't for you, you'll know that you can't do this. Because some people are rude, some of your clients are gonna be, they might be racist, they may be against males, or they may be, oh, I don't like your hair, but I like you, like they'll love your personality, but they don't like that you're prettier than them, or you're more successful than them, or whatever it is. If you can't deal with people, then this might not be the business for you. Because people can work your nerve on these tables, and you just wanna keep them up. I keep people off my table before, I've got fired before for doing stupid stuff like that, but sometimes I can't take certain people. And it's not a racial thing, I'll keep black people off the table, we had a great conversation about everything, and all of a sudden this person wanna ask me about, there was something about football, and the owner for the Patriots, he was having sexual relations with a young lady, I forget, it was like a sex parlor type of thing where he was, oh yeah, and I would've had 2 girls or whatever, I'm like, fuck off my table, like he was really condoning sex trafficking, something like that, something like, get the fuck off my table.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation, and he's me, but I'm like, man, I didn't expect that. That came out of like nowhere. Jesus. And that was just such a great conversation. You don't know, and so there's plenty of people like him or her. Try not to lose your cool like I did. But yeah, some people are assholes, and they will work your nerve. But other than aesthetics, the way I really learned how to make money, grow my brand is Instagram, YouTube, social media. I was against social media in the beginning. I really, really was. I hated Instagram, but now that somebody taught me, look, why don't you put your stuff on here, do a YouTube video, and see how it takes off. So people were following me, they're like, hey, why don't you just become an instructor? So this is like 2007, 2008, and then I went into instructing. Excuse me. So when I went into instructing, that's when I really started making good money. Started going to continuing education classes, expos. You really make a lot of money at expos. So once you become an esthetician.
Can you back up for a second? How did you make good money as an instructor?
You mean?
I don't want to talk bad about this. Well, it depends on what school, right?
Oh, okay.
Skincare schools, you shop around. It depends on which, right? Because I'm in Northern Virginia. These people, they have like money runs out of a faucet up there. You turn the water on, like money just comes out the stinking faucet. The medium income range up there is $87,000. That's like the least someone would make in that county. 87. That's just almost every, the lowest of the income. Highest of the incomes are millionaires. Definitely got money on private planes, senators, congressmen and women. Because DC is literally right across the street, but they live in Northern Virginia. It's a lot of money. It really, really is. And so the teaching out there, they're gonna pay you at a high price. Maryland is hard because Maryland's not like a commonwealth. It's still ran by idiots in Annapolis who dictate to us money, schools, roads. Still got potholes in certain roads. I'm like, what the hell? All our roads should be super paved by now because we had a pandemic. This is the perfect time to pave all the roads. What are y'all doing? And y'all still work on 695? That's 8 years later. Man. But that's our mismanagement, school money, blah, blah, blah. So in teaching, depends on which school. I started off at $28 an hour, and that was like my first year. Like I didn't have any experience in anything. That was pretty good back in those days. Now I think it's like $40 an hour. And that's pretty good money. If you're single, don't have any kids, you're doing pretty well. Expos, you really make good money because if your skills are good, you know how to teach a dermaplaning class, a HydraFacial class. HydraFacial right now is like kind of like the #1 thing to get into. If you can learn HydraFacial, so man, you're on point. Most schools, haven't seen a school teach it at all, even on the West Coast. But it's taking off like crazy. That HydraFacials or hydrogelly masks, that's like awesome. You've seen what you take the right on off, it looks wonderful. Like I said, V-steaming, vajacials, manjacials, anything with waxing, strip wax, hard wax, Sphinx. Sphinx is pretty much the whole body, the anus, everything, hair, nowhere. You ever seen a cat that has like 0 hair? The Sphinx cat. Some people, like if you have a modeling gig or you're on TV, people do this. People pay top dollar for those type of services.
Yeah.
And you're not just gonna do facials, learn about massage. You don't have to go to massage school to transfer into massage therapy. You can always just take a course and then learn that massage. You already know the facial, you got a license in that. Transfer those massage skills into the full body. As long as you're not calling yourself a licensed massage therapist, you can get away with it. So it's just wording. when you have your own business and you're trying to elevate to something else where I need to do something else besides facials, I need to incorporate everything else, just take a training class in it, and then you can actually, what time is it? No, let me know.
You have an hour.
Really?
Well, no, you have, as long as you can take.
Yeah.
We're doing
Not
good?
even an hour,
And you had a
no.
question, I'm sorry.
Disregard that.
No, you had a question, I'm so sorry, I seen you. Okay. So other than that,
You want the chair?
no, I'm fine. They turned the air on or something, I feel cooler. I feel something. But,
Miss Ray turned it up, down.
oh, y'all be freezing.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the time.
They got my blanket. I'm not even calling that.
How they
That's why y'all- that's why y'all put them
how they got you
in.
exposed, it's just on your back.
That's why I'm like,
Calling up my shoulder now.
Man.
It'd be like that.
So like the beauty shows, or expos, beauty shows, literally go to those just because of the networking and the people that you're gonna meet. When you go and see somebody that says, hey, look, I'm about to go on stage next moment, and you talk to them at a table, like, you about to go on where? And that's how I got into
Yeah.
going on. I'm like, I'm just talking to somebody who's literally a presenter. I didn't even know. I had the whole pamphlet looking through it. We having a great conversation. She walked her right up to that stage, and she's paid literally like $10,000 per show. So it's 3 shows and then weekends. I thought, come on, where am I gonna make $30,000 and just talking?
In a weekend, about what you love. Yep.
So the expo, if you can get into that arena, they are expensive to sign up for the registration or whatever. Yeah, you're gonna spend about $2,000 to buy that, give or take. But you get that money on the back end by charging people to come and see you. And they will. People will flock to you just because of your knowledge. Whatever you have, if you're into permanent makeup, if you're all the micro needling to skin pen rejuvenation, vaginal rejuvenation, laser treatment, people will come from Alaska to Arizona just to come and see you. Because in their states, they don't have beauty shows. And if you think about which states have beauty shows, normally it's gonna be Texas, Nevada, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, like the major cities, San Francisco. But Midwest states, they kind of are left out of everything, so they have to kind of even fly to us to come see us. YouTube, there's people that will ask me questions from just weird states, even overseas, because their instructors or school didn't teach them on how to cleanse or do certain masks. I'm like, you do know you can use a charcoal plus turmeric mask with that, and that acne will go right away. So there's certain things that you can teach people that they in their school thought they were going to teach you. And I'm a victim of that as well. I thought my school would have trained me on everything. Lord, no. So I went and did it on my own. I seeked my own training. So if you are trying to go into another field, like massage therapy, or you're trying to transfer into yoga, just take a training course. You don't have to go through their school. To be a yogi, those schools are thousands of dollars. People don't realize that. Man, you know, and sometimes it's cash. It's not, because there's no accredited school that teaches you yogi instructor, not that I know of. Normally it's always cash. Unless you're gonna spend thousands of dollars, it's a waste of money. For like brow expert, brow arching, even dermatological, the stuff that you guys are trained on, there's a training center right in Virginia. Their headquarters is in Virginia.
Yeah.
So don't rely on the schools training all, but like actually go and check them out. Like, oh, I didn't know we could use a little micro exfoliation with the other cleanser and peels and do a combination treatment. Yeah, there's all types of things that you can do with a facial. And then let's go over some of our treatments. So when I'm doing a mobile treatment, let's just say somebody gives me a call and says, hey Benjamin, I need you to come to my house to give me a facial. The pandemic has arisen. My people, husband, crazy, trying to watch football. So I work Sundays in the winter time only because I know that's just a real woman's time. They go to the facials, get their stuff done, because men are always watching football doing something silly, make good money. So I work on that Sundays. I know some people don't like working on Sunday, but hey, make good money during that time. Steamer, your portable steamer, it doesn't have to be this big at all. You can actually just have like a little smaller round steamer. It's actually have like little small towels that fit in. It's a little plastic cover, you take it off, and it plugs in. It's actually made this height. It's very small, very compact. The only thing I didn't like about that, it breaks. As soon as you drop it even a little bit, that covering, so once you have your steamer, the steam that's coming out of here has ozone, all that good stuff. You're keeping it away from 12 feet. Never have this thing hovering over the face. These things are cheap sometimes. They can just drop right on out. Right, so it's not really a hard locking mechanism. It's easy if you just bump against it, it can fall out. 30-degree burn to somebody's face can end your career very fast. So if you do a portable steamer, hold it at both angles, get the face, the steams will come out anyway. You ain't gotta worry about putting it way over the face. What are you doing? Unless you're doing like a body treatment, which you can do a whole body with your portable steamer. But as soon as you burn somebody's face, even with chemical peels, and we're gonna go over that in just a minute. Because once you make one small mark or burn mark, it can be over. I'm not saying they'll strip your license immediately, but you gotta kind of prove it. They do take you to court if it goes that far. You gotta prove why, you had the steamer over somebody's face.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know about that, because I've only gone to court twice. I was a manager at, Massage Jimmy, I hated it, but this is when we had our facial program, it was just starting. And the steamers that we had, they were so janky, they were horrible steamers. And she had the light hovering over the face, the light was already falling off, that hit her in the head, that wasn't the problem at first, she forgave it, that's just for that. But it was the steam would spit out like big droplets of water, and if it's that's how you have a telltale sign of older steamers. Like if they start spitting in that water, somehow that valve, it got bent or it's collecting water too much up here, and somehow the valve is collecting water, so then when it's full, it spits out. So those spackles can actually burn the crap out of somebody's face, and it burned her real good. Sued and everything. I think she got about 12,000, not just from a little small. It was enough to be a sunburn. It wasn't really horribly burnt, but it was enough to get her 12,000. And we went to court. I had to testify like, yeah, I was a trainer. I was a man. Blah 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 blah. And they grilled me like I'm the one that messed up. Like, no, I document everything. I'm a stickler for documentation. I know it sucks, but it's not like you're writing on somebody. Let's just say you come behind another esthetician and you're working on a client, and that client says something about that esthetician that's kind of dangerous, or you might need just put it in that little notes. I'm not saying you got to run to your boss, but at least you documented it, because you don't want to get you don't want to get caught up into somebody else's nonsense or mess. But just be careful with that. So these little portable steamers, be careful. They're not made out of anything. You drop this, they can't break. They're cheap. But this is about $50. So at least you have a little portable steamer. If you don't have a steamer, just have your hot towels. I didn't bring my towels or anything like that. But everybody's normally gonna have a sink. You're gonna go to somebody's apartment with the gate codes and dogs and stuff. I mean, it's all types of stuff you have to deal with if you do mobile treatments. And that's why you charge accordingly.
That's right.
Oh my God. Because you can get killed, robbed, stabbed, even in the best areas.
Yeah.
It was Richmond. I drove all the way to Richmond. They paid me, it was good thousands of dollars. Don't get me wrong. I was like, dang, y'all gonna pay me to drive all the way to Richmond. And it's not too far. It's about maybe 2 hours, 2.5, give or take. Something like that. Like past Kings Dominion, past Shore Pump, and like before you get to the city of Richmond. And it's a nice, wonderful house. But I get downstairs and she's like, no, it's a big old half a mansion. So it's literally that big. It's like a half mini mansion. And I get down to the wrapped upstairs. I was like, you sure you want to do it way down here? Why can't we be upstairs? Because it's a one way in, one way out. There was no basement door, nothing. It was like a little private pool underneath their house, which was wonderful. But on the sidewall, they had like all this memorabilia from like the Civil War, a lot of Ku Klux Klan, like real. I'm like, you can keep the money, I'm out of it. And she was mad, but she's like, no, that's my husband, he's a collector. I'm like, a collector of what? Like, what's next, heads in the wall? Damn, I left, but see, I didn't expect that. The house looked amazing, the company was amazing, they treated me, and everybody was mixed, it was a mixed crowd. It wasn't all what, no, this was, but I don't think everybody knew with that basement area, but then if they did, I'm like, dang, are y'all with this? Like, what's going on? So not everybody's house, even in the nicest of areas, I didn't expect that at all, at all. Some events just turn wild. Some people don't want you working on their wife, husband. For y'all, y'all are pretty. And if you're gonna have somebody that's gonna work on somebody's husband, yeah, that could be a real problem. And they'll say it's cool in the beginning, but as soon as they see you, no. And it's not